Hey Groovers, how's it going? I thought I might do a video here about the recording and little jamming and looping stuff that I do here. About the setup, I've got to change it a bit since the last time, so let's have a look what I've changed. And just for any of you who might be curious what I'm using for sounds, or you might be looking at, you might have some of these things laying around and you haven't used them. So let's get into it. So down here, so basically I'm going into this switcher with the keys and the guitar, and that's all going in these days with the Legato wireless. I can't really complain about it. I mean, you lose a little bit of volume, but you just turn that up with your EQ pedal, no problem. I haven't noticed hell of a lot of noise or anything. It's great for doing live jams and the looping stuff. When I record, I still use a guitar lead when I'm recording an actual song, but man, for $50, I'd say give it a go. I should do a little review on those actually. So anyway, it goes from there over into the old Whammy 2. If you can get your hands on one of these, do it, because this D-tune setting down here is a really excellent chorus sound, and it also has, you can also save, every time you turn it on, your two favourite settings out of all of these, which is pretty cool. Well worth getting if you can find one. And over here I've got a volume pedal, control pedal. That's for the Ocean machine. So that controls basically just the volume of the output of that, which is pretty cool. Good old wah. That's the Hendrix one. Hendrix edition, of course it is. Of course it is. Which all comes up now back through here through the Electro Harmonix Mel 9. Pretty happy with that. If you haven't heard that, I use it a fair bit when I'm looping, and now I've got everything working again loop wise. These two pedals will be used a fair bit, but you can see there, and they all sound good to me. Even the brass. The brass sounds better when I put the keyboard through it actually, but everything sounds great with the guitar, and as does the key 9 here too. All those keyboard sounds are awesome. The steel drums sound great. The organ sounds great. The vibes and the mallets I love. If you really want to get that Zappa vibe going, I like it. I mean, the thing I always liked about Zappa when he used his mallets and all the percussion stuff was it just sounded like a cartoon. So if you like making funny music, like I do, you have to have vibes and mallets. Let's face it. And if you've got some steel drums there, even better. And I've got this cheap compressor here, but that's really just for this. For some reason, this thing doesn't like single notes, it likes chords. And the single notes are a little bit lacking in volume, you could say. So that gets a little bit of that in it. I don't know what that is there. Some paint come off something else, whatever. I've just brought this back out again now that I've got it plugged into the power, and this is actually pretty good. I think it cost me $80, $60-$80, and you got overdrive and distortion, dual injection afterburner by Crossfire, and it's actually pretty good. Both of those are great separate, and they're excellent when they're on together. This gives you a really nice raw sound as opposed to what I have up in the effects processor. The old Smallstone, that's the Russian one from the 90s. Sounds awesome. I've just kind of marked out 4 of my favourite spots there, and anything in between is going to be pretty cool too, but they're pretty much always the ones with the right speed rate going on. And the big change I've made lately is hooking this up, this MIDI foot controller, to the SE70. And I'm still using this SE70, and it's nearly 30 years old. 30 years old next year, actually, this is. And it sounds great. And even, I lost all my presets and I had to put a new battery in and set everything up again. But I love the sounds in it. And once you get the foot controller, you're laughing. And, I don't have a lot. I kept it simple this time. I had about 90 set up last time. So you can see there, that's enough sounds. I'll probably do maybe one more patch of 10 for real synth type sounds and stuff like that. But as far as all the distortions and that go in this thing, they're unreal. I love them. So if you've got the SE70 and you can get your hands, or you still have the FC50 lying around, chuck it up on your board like that and get into it. You know all the sounds that are in this thing. It's unreal. It's still, you know, I go to buy new effects, and most of them, they don't really impress me that much to want to get rid of that. I'm not going to get rid of it. So if anything, I'm going to look for a couple of backups. But you know, it's still kicking. It does a top job. Anyway, so everything there, all that does go into the EQ first. I've usually only just got things bumped a bit. With the, you do find with the wireless, you've got to bump it up a bit sometimes, the overall level, but honestly, it's worth not tripping over wires when you're trying to really concentrate on too many things at once, to have a wireless if you're doing a live stream or something. And probably cool too when you're sitting around just on the lounge. So yeah, that all goes through that, and it also goes into the old DD3 here, which I use, and then that all goes into the SE. So straight away I can get everything doing crazy shit, and then out to this ridiculous monster right here, which if you've mucked around with one, you know all you need is a clean sound, and you can come up with heaps of stuff. It's got fuzz built into it and everything. So I mean, you can just plug a electric guitar straight into this thing and get awesome sounds straight away. I'm glad I got one. It's awesome. 1 reverb, 2 delays, endless sounds. I should probably do a review on it now. I've had a couple of years and I've mucked around with it a bit more. But definitely, if you're thinking of getting a delay for a really good price, as good as any of the $1,500 ones, grab yourself that for about $600, I think it was. And then all that goes over to here, which is the old trusty Roland Octacapture. It's about 12, 13 years old, but it's still kicking, and it's Roland. And then I've got stuff coming out of that into the old VS, so I use that for, you know, this microphone here, cops the old effects on it. I've also got the LSS, the good old LSS SR16. Look at all scratches and bumps on that, man. That's had some. I use it a lot in guitar lessons too when I was going around people's places. Excellent for teaching guitar when you've got a drum machine. But yeah, that's still in there. They're still useful. It's either sell stuff or use it, and then everything from here, which is the keyboard and guitar and the vocals and that drums, and the drums that are also on here, come down to the looper, and that's the Beat Buddy drum machine if I want to do, when I'm doing my own loops and stuff. This controls the Beat Buddy, just a MIDI pedal, and yeah, that's where it all ends up, and then it goes through there, back up 1 and 2 on here, and then the rest is coming out of there. And then to record it all, it goes all straight into Cakewalk. I've been using that for about as long as I've had this, so 12, 13 years I've been using Cakewalk. Can't complain about it. Does what it needs to do. Pretty much, I don't like mucking around once I record. I don't like going in and tweaking things too much. I like to get everything happening as it's going and have it done, so by the time it's all done, you just mix it. That's the go. So you can see, oh, hang on, and this is the trusty old Rode NT2 microphone. Bought that back in 1997. 1997, still rocking on, that is. Still in its original. I'm finding it hard to get rid of this shock mount, but I have to because it uses bloody elastic bands and stuff. So I'm going to have to get a new shock mount for it. But great mic. I knew it would be when I bought it. I knew it was an investment, and it's seen me see me through real well. So hope you enjoyed that little look around down here from Bar Many for Gizmo. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope it maybe inspired you to pull out some old stuff and mix it up a bit. Get the old pedals going if you can, and if you've got the room for them. They're good fun. I like using them in real time. That's the beauty of the pedals. I just find them way better to use in real time. Anyway, until the next jam, it's out from Geetar Fool.